All right, the niceties are probably on hold here. Jordan Lewis, welcome.
Thank you.
Jack Revold, hello.
Hi, Jared. How are you?
Enemies on Friday night. Two teams in, well, not the same circumstance. Both lost, both have questions raging. Both captains played despite needing surgery, so you're back in the breach. You've got to fill in for a while.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it happened to Hodgie. It happened in the first, I think, contest of the game. He managed to play out the game, which is extraordinary, and then obviously went under the knife today.
You might need the captaincy, Jordan. I don't think that's an insult.
I might what?
You might need the captaincy because I reckon you're in a bit of a hole yourself. Would you agree with that or not?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I could probably put my hand up for one good game this year out of 6. That's not good enough from probably any player, let alone a leader of the club.
Do you try and assess why you got into the slump, or do you spend half your time or most of your time working out how you're going to get out of it?
Oh, I think you spend a lot of your time how do you get out of it, and that's probably the frustrating thing you go through as a player is you try everything. You do train a little bit harder, you train a little bit longer, and you try and work on your deficiencies. And everyone in this day and age is impatient. We're impatient, and if you don't see the results straight away, it gets harder and harder. So, I mean, I think the biggest quality of AFL players is resilience, and you've just got to stick at it and hopefully something turns your way.
I look at your play, and I've told you this before, I watch you a lot. I look at your play and I think you're so far off the play where you used to be at the play, a metre off the play. That's what I see. Is that what you're seeing in your own game or not?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think probably one of our biggest strengths as a side has been the adaptability of players. And so you're playing a variety of roles, in a quarter, let alone a game. So I think when we've been at our best, you adapt to that role straight away rather than saying, oh, OK, I'm an inside midfielder now, but now I'm playing outside, and then you still don't get involved in the play. And that's certainly something that I'm searching for. By all means, I need to play a lot better than I have this start of the season.
I said last night to Jared, and I've never said this before about Hawthorn, I reckon you're playing soft football. Now,
yeah, I think the stats.
Don't worry about the stats. But we know the stats.
To back them up, I think they're pretty damning. Our contested ball is down, which we probably haven't been great at over the past sort of 3 years, but it's held us in good stead. But I think what we're seeing now is we're probably getting smashed in quarters. I mean, going down 30 contested possessions in a quarter is unlike us. We usually, if we do lose, we lose by a few and not by that many. So there's a certain side of our game that needs to get a little bit harder.
Do you have to get angry again? We're seriously, I know you guys hated it, the unsociable Hawks, but you're the easy Hawks. You're not fighting, Jordan. You're not. When they're coming, you're not standing up.
Ask Adelaide. Ask Western Bulldogs.
That's 4 weeks ago. That's 3 weeks ago.
Well, we've lost to 2 sides out of 6. So you ask the 4 sides that we've beaten how they've gone. So, I mean, and I know I can't disagree with you, but we've played some good sides, and we need to step up every single week. And I mean, we're in the position where sides are coming at us no matter where they are on the ladder. They see Hawthorn as a really good win. I mean, if they knock off us, it gets their season going, especially early on in the season. And we've got to be ready for that every week, and that's the way we've played over the last 4 years. So sometimes you're going to have down patches. You just hope they don't last for the whole season. And that's what we've been good at, is we've been able to rectify before finals and before we lose too many games.
Is it exhausting?
No, I don't think so. I think every player goes through the same situation every single week. We hate losing like we did on the weekend. Yeah, so it's not exhausting. I mean, we got a little bit embarrassed on the weekend.
Yeah.
What's your take on confidence, Jordan?
Oh, I think confidence, when you've got it, is effortless. I mean, you still probably do the same amount of work during the week, but then when you get to a game, stuff just happens. When you're down on confidence, you're really trying to search for answers within a game. You want to get your hands on the ball and that sort of stuff, and it does become quite hard. And that's probably not the right way to go about it. I think when players have been in form slumps, and maybe myself in the past, if you have a sort of a defensive mindset in your game, then stuff flows from that, and it's different for every player. I mean, I would imagine for a backman it's different to a forward to a mid. But I suppose just trial and error, you work out what works and what doesn't.
Just for us, just for the show, can you lead hard out from the square And can you run hard that way with the flight of the ball and just see what happens? Just for the
Well,
highlight.
the first contest?
Yeah, just can you?
Kochi's out. I might be playing midfield this
See how it
week.
goes.
You never know. I could be lining up on the big fella.
Imagine that.
The Jared Roughhead type.
He's up there.
There.
Niggle? Would you niggle him? Why not? Got to get dirty again.
Well, Goddard never came near me.
We haven't had an inter-family feud yet, have we?
No, we haven't. No, I can't wait. I really can't. It's a big stage for
Yeah,
both teams.
huge.
Everyone's expecting this mob to just roll you, Jack, but someday you're going to have to stand up and say, we've had enough. We've had enough. We're getting sick of this.
You're right. Yep.
You've got to do it.
Everyone thinks Hawthorn's going to win.
They do,
Yep.
except you boys.
Just the way we like it.
Good.
Quick word on the Giants. That was frightening.
Yeah, they were good. Absolutely, you can't take anything away from them. I mean, they've got youth, enthusiasm. They're playing a really good brand of football. Liam's got them. It felt like playing on the same page. I mean, in the past, you've probably queried whether they're on the same page and playing to the same game style, but it felt like every single player knew exactly what they needed to do, and that's a dangerous mix. And
Did
they've
you
got.
feel that they also knew what you guys were going to do? Did a lot of things get chopped off thinking, hang on?
Oh yeah, but sides do that to any side, and I mean we've probably been really good at it the last 3 years. So sides are working out what we do and try and shut that down because it's been dangerous. But
No run again, or lack of run again.
yeah, I mean it was a smaller ground, so it's I know you can still run, but the boundaries come on you in on you quite quickly. But I think they'll be a finals side this year.
They've got the young and the old. Steve Johnson is still plying his trade, and in the first half he was thrilling.
Yeah, he was, and he's one of those players that he's just got an aura about him, and he's earned the aura and he's earned the respect, I think, of the playing competition. Granted, he's one of those guys that when you play against him, you'll probably want to bop him right on the nose, but he's just got something about him that I think every club wants. You got to take the good with the bad with Stevie, I would have thought.
There's a lot of good.
There is a lot of good.
There's a hell of a lot of good.
You've brought in the jumpers that your two teams have designed for the Indigenous round, the Sir Doug Nicholls Indigenous round this year. So, Jack, first, this is for the Dreamtime at the G.
Yeah, it is, and it's been designed by 17-year-old Patricia McKean, from Warrnambool down Geordie's Way. So it's
Good,
as you can see here, it's obviously an Indigenous design, and it represents the players of the past, the present, and the future of the Richmond Football Club, of which we've had some great Indigenous greats. So I know the kids upstairs, the Indigenous kids that come down from the Northern Territory and are doing schooling upstairs, are very excited about Dreamtime at the G rounds.
They would be.
And the club's really excited about it too.
And there's yours, Jordan.
Yeah, so our players have had a fair bit of input into this, so our Indigenous players that are on the list, and there's a fair bit of detail that has gone into this. So, I mean, this is, not to disregard the ones we've had in the past, this, I think, is probably the most detailed and nice jumpers we've ever worn.
We're going to keep this theme going. Good luck on Friday night.